Good morning, guys. Welcome to another Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Excited to have you all here. Um, it's just been another wild week, as always. This journey is just crazy. Uh, Honestly, it's been a little bit of a rinse and repeat week. To be honest with you, we've had multiple meetings throughout the week, working on lots of different deals. Nothing quite yet ready for the finish line. We've had some deals that we've seen before come back into the mix that are looking good again. So it's funny. It's funny how you just wait 3 or 4 months and the deal comes right back around and it starts looking good again. So it's that's just the name of the game. It just kind of happens that way. We got Oscar in the house.
Yo, what's
What's
up?
up, brother? Good to see you, man. I just got started, so you're good, man. You're good. I was just going over high level of the week has been a little bit of a rinse and repeat. We haven't done anything substantially crazy this week, but we have been working hard.
Yeah, I was about to
I
say,
know you went to an event this week. Maybe you want to share a little bit about that. I know you went to that on what was that Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, okay. Let's see.
Okay.
We had we had a meeting with property management this week. That went well. Learned a lot. We established yet another good relationship with the property management for the property we're about to close on. So I am excited to see how that unfolds. She's a very intelligent person, and I can tell that she knows what she's doing. So I am really excited to see how that plays out, and hopefully it goes well, so we can do some more deals with her and just kind of keep reusing that same property management here in the Houston area. So I am definitely excited for that. I think not only will she do well, but I think that she may even teach us a few things here and there along the way. So I'm definitely excited for that. I think it'll be really cool. I see we got Max in the side chat. Good morning, brother. Glad to have you. Glad to have you, man. Let's see. Let's see what else. So I always have to go back through my calendar to kind of see and remind myself what happened because along with the deal merge brain, you get day merge. Like everything kind of just blends together. And honestly, that might not even be the working. That might just be the baby thing. But all my days kind of just blur together. I can barely remember what I did last night past just the most recent. It's getting harder and harder. So that might just be getting older, but who knows? Who knows? We've been working on a couple things with our boy Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. That guy's hustling. Freaking love that dude. We've been working on two separate deals with him. They've been looking good. Well, one's looking good. One's kind of like how we're just trying to make it work. So at some point, they just don't work, and you just have to kind of move on. So we're almost to that point, but it's a potential creative deal. So we're still pushing to see how we can make it work. Right? Let's see. Had
Okay.
a
Can you
couple
hear me?
meetings with the team. Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
All right, cool, cool. I don't know what happened. My settings were all jacked up for a second.
Bro, yeah. Welcome to my life.
Cool. And I heard you talking about how we really didn't do anything substantial this week, but
No, substantially different. We did a
substantially
lot of
different.
substantial work, but like nothing crazy that sticks out different than what we have been doing. We're always doing substantial work, Oscar. Always.
Yeah, for sure. And although it didn't feel like substantially different, you were right. It was still work. We did a lot of work this week
Yep.
and the week before.
Hmm.
And even last night, some of you guys may not know, but we stayed up pretty late last night finishing up some stuff just for the MDU community. So it's like balancing a bunch of different things right now, balancing deals, balancing single family, balancing MDU. There's just a lot of things that we work on that we're becoming a little bit more. Uh, I guess you can say throughout the day we have a little routine, right? Like
Mhm.
maybe throughout the day we work on the deals, and then kind of closer to midday we get on the meetings, and then at night we just catch up on everything and then work on everything else that we need to get done.
Mhm.
So
It, it's kind of funny. It's becoming a pattern that our working day doesn't really end until sometimes like 1 in the morning. There was a night that well, a couple nights that was up till like 3:30. Yeah, man, it's different. It's different, but that's how committed we are to this. Like we don't just stop once it hits 5 o'clock.
yeah,
That'd be nice, but that's not going to get us where we need to be.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a good point, Oscar. That's a good
hmm,
point. We're out here hustling, hustling. And it's not the hard part about it is you don't see immediate results. You don't. You really don't. Not like the next day. It might be next month at the earliest, maybe.
hmm,
But you kind of have to just keep grinding to get there. So I'm glad you brought that up, man.
yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Let's see. So I was just telling them that with all of that, I get deal merge as well as day merge. So I can't really remember what went on. I have to kind of go look back through my calendar to see what happened and what we did. Um,
No, yeah,
man,
it's
I'm just looking through and I just see meeting, 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 meeting all day,
I know.
all day. I mean, that's all it is. We just have different meetings. Actually, I want to shout out a couple people here. Um, I think they're newer to the group, to our community. I've only started seeing them recently, but they've caught my eye. Like I see them hustling. So I want to shout out the Perkins family, Cecilia and Christopher, because they've been watching the videos, and then I see them join last Friday's Zoom. I think that was the first time that they like stood out to me. They hopped on and asked a question. That's how you stick out. They asked a question. So who knows? They may have been even watching before that, but hadn't asked a question yet. I realized that they were a part of the community once I saw them ask a question, and then not even what 2, 3. I think 3 or 4 days later, I get the question, how can I be part of the VIP group? I want to be part of the VIP group. What does that entail? Oh, wow, you have an underwriting course. I would love to be a part of that. And I sent them the link, sent them the information, and they were a little hesitant at first, or at least that's what I got. That's how I felt. And then they reached out to me the next day with a deal that they were working on. And honestly, it might turn into something. We don't know yet. The deal looks good, but we need to dig further into the market analysis.
Hmm.
That's kind of where we are. But the deal looks good. And so I sat down, kind of go through the underwriting with them a little bit. And right after that, they're like, okay, we're on board. We want to be part of this. We want to do the underwriting course. I mean, what you just showed us was awesome. And then almost immediately after that, I get the little notification that they signed up. And I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome, man. These guys are action takers. And then the following day, she reaches out to me with more questions, more questions. And I'm like, hell yeah, these guys are taking action. And that's what it's all about. It's just, this game is about speed. The faster that you can do this, like, yeah, you want to make sure you're doing it the right way and analyze it. You get the analysis paralysis, but that's not the way to do it. You just got to kind of rush into it and figure it out as you're moving forward. Obviously, do it with intention. Don't just like blindly follow something. Like I've always said, put that goal, work backwards from the goal, and then just go for it. And that's what this couple is doing. So I just wanted to shout them out. I think they're crushing it, and
Yeah,
they're the newest VIP members. So shout out to the Perkins family.
absolutely. I love to hear those types of stories, man.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
powerful. Like, we have some VIPs in the room right now, like, Max is in the room, and, these guys are action takers, like, they don't wait, they just one of the quotes that we always talk about is one of our mentors, Joseph, the leaders don't need permission, right?
Hmm.
And that's exactly what these guys are doing. They're just taking action and they're not waiting around. They want it. That's how bad they want it. So they commit, and you can tell like these guys come and bring the fire. They're keeping Joseph busy,
Yeah,
super busy.
for real.
Like every day there's something there for Joseph to do. And it's not just one or two items. He's got like a list of things that he's got to do.
Yeah,
And
like I'm getting behind on these things just from that group. They have so many things for me to do.
yeah, they keep him busy and they keep all of us busy. So for us to provide value to these people who are taking action, that's what drives us to do the community, because we want to make sure that these people that are we equip them with all the resources that they need, but we also just make sure that everything is going well, and that if they need any support from us, that we can give them the support that they need. So that's been a treat to see a lot of these VIPs just kind of grow into their own respective fields. Like, we have so many good underwriters that are part of the team that are just like learning it so fast. It's almost scary because when we first started, we had to learn all this stuff from scratch, right? We really didn't know who to go to or where to go to. And a lot of it was just, Joseph and Ione just kind of going off and learning most of the stuff, obviously from other rooms, other mentorships and stuff, but also bringing it back to the community as soon as they learned it. Hey, here's what I learned. Here's what I did. Here's what to do. And then all that now, it's cool to see that we're giving all that to the community, to the VIPs, and they're knowing exactly what to look for when they go and do the underwriting. I know Max is in the room. Max has been asking so many good questions when it comes to underwriting. He's always like, "Hey, what can I do to get better? What can I do to do this? What kind of metrics should I look for? How can I be proactive in underwriting and getting so much more, just done?" It's these questions that like push us to like, "Hey, man, you're doing great. Here's what you do." And then we just give them the roadmap on what you need to do. It's one of those things also that underwriting, it's very crucial for the deal itself. You do have to know the underwriting, you have to know the business plan. So it is gonna be one of those things that keeps evolving as you do it, but it's very good to start understanding that stuff, because once you start actually getting closer to doing a deal, you will have to know those numbers and you'll have to know the business plan, how it's gonna be implemented. So these guys, that's what they're learning at the moment and much more. It's almost like every
Mhm.
time we get into those meetings with these guys, it's almost like a mini mastermind, because
It
we give them
is.
everything that they need, right? And more, right? I know there was a few stories that we were telling in there about some of our past experiences that we related to them just so that they know what to look for, and they were like, "Oh wow, yeah, like I love being in these rooms." It turns out to be more of a mastermind than it does underwriting session or whatever we have going on there. So,
Hmm.
we love our community. We're giving as much as we can to you guys, and the VIPs are just crushing it out there. They're not stopping, and I love that because they're hungry. And one of those or all of them here pretty soon are going to start doing deals. You'll see, and they're going to be the ones that give it back to the community after they've done their deal.
I love that, man. I love it. And it's so true because I feel like every single little mini mastermind that we have, I always see Lars make a comment. He's like, there's always gold from these calls. I love these calls. Like he said it more than once. And it honestly, I mean, it makes us feel good, like that we're able to provide that kind of value, but also that, we're helping these people and they're becoming like family. We're helping them get towards their goal and they're helping us get towards our goal, and it's becoming like a little bit of a family. And I think that's just awesome, and it kind of just goes right back to what Oscar and Ione had originally said. We're trying to change the game. We're trying to change the game, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. That's the
Yeah.
that's the mission.
Absolutely.
Now I see a question in the chat from Glebco2K. I love that name, man. He says, "Do you guys look at the market deals to analyze? I remember Vina saying that bringing her what's on the market won't do." Yeah, that's a good point. Most deals on the market, they just don't make sense right now. That's true. Absolutely, that's true. But here's where we're different. We do seller finance. We do all the creative financing strategies. Vina is new to the creative financing strategies. She said it before. I've heard her say it before. She's recently getting into that field and now she's starting to understand it more. So I don't know if that answer has changed for her or not, but I do remember when she was uh, on our call in the past when we had her as a guest speaker, she did say that she focuses primarily on those conventional, getting the new debt. She even does some loan assumptions, but sub two and seller finance wasn't the norm in her business model. That is like our main business model. So for us, we still look at those deals and we'll present the cash offer. And I say cash, I always say cash, but what I mean is they're going to get cash. We're going to figure out how we can get it to them, whether that's securing new debt or a loan assumption. So we'll present that offer, maybe even both if they work. And then at the same time, we also present our seller finance offer or our creative offer, or at least bring it up, say, hey, I know that this isn't what you're looking for, but I'd love to sit down and talk with you. And maybe we can structure something more creative so we can get closer to that price you're looking for. So that's what's different for us. That's the reason we still look at on market deals because both our deals, well, one of the deals that we have is from on the market. And it was on the market for 8 months before we came into the picture and we did something creative with it to secure the deal. So we're not afraid of on market deals, but we're not going to pay what they're asking unless we structure something creative. That's typically how it works out.
Yeah. Good answer. Very good answer.
We're bringing
Also,
the heat today.
I know, for real. Also, guys, if you haven't registered for today's free Friday Zoom at 12 p.m. Central, you should because we're going to go over deal analysis 101. So we're going to go over some metrics that we cover when we look at certain markets, and then we're also going to go briefly on what you also need in order to complete that entire deal analysis. A quick one. So this is something that I think it's going to help a lot of people when they're looking at a market and they don't know exactly if it's a good market, especially if they're not there locally, then this will help you out a lot. It'll give you a very good understanding of what you should be looking at and what markets to focus on, what markets to avoid. So it's going to be such a good one. It's going to be
Yeah,
more
good.
it's going to be geared more towards the people who like to do numbers or like to do market analysis. And I think that's something that we wanted to focus on for you guys to bring more value because it'll go hand in hand when you start doing your underwriting. So it's going to be another tool up your sleeve that you can have, and it'll probably open up some more doors like it has for us. So
Definitely.
don't miss it, guys.
And I want to add to that what you said there, Oscar. You said it's going to be more geared towards the people that like doing numbers and um, what was the other thing you said? More numbers and the market analysis. Let me paint the picture. Oscar, he's not the numbers guy. He doesn't like the numbers, but he does like the market analysis, or at least I get the feeling that he
I
likes it.
do.
I don't think he's outright said it,
No,
but
I do like market analysis.
there you
Yep.
go. Now it's recorded. It's out there. So just because you're not a numbers guy, you could still get a lot of value out of this. I learned some stuff last night. This is one of the things that we were setting up and working on last night. I think we spent 2 to 3 hours both learning extra content more than what we already knew. We were just fine tuning our skills because we want to bring the heat for you guys, and then actually putting together the platform that we're going to show you is what we were working on. So I'm excited for it.
Bless you. And yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you.
Super excited. Look at this. Max always bringing the heat. I'll be there.
Always.
Heck yeah. Cool.
I see Gleb. Um, if You're talking about the MDU analyzer. It's we always put out the updates in our VIP Facebook group, and it is always going to be added to that Google Drive that you have access to, and only the VIPs have access to. So it would be in there. It's still the version 1.1, if that's the one you're asking about. The next version has not been released yet, just yet. Ioni's been cooking up some stuff special, is what I've been told. So I'm still waiting to find out too. Let me
Cool.
see. Let me go back to the calendar, see what else happened this week.
All right.
Let's see. Let's see.
Lots of stuff though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It almost
Oh,
went by so fast. You found
yeah.
something?
Yeah, bro. KJ. KJ's trying to
Mm.
come back into the mix. It's not going to happen immediately, but she's slowly starting to kind of integrate herself back in. Um, so that's exciting. Definitely glad to have her back. We're giving her a new title. We're gonna call her head of relationships, senior vice president of relationships. And I make that joke because we were having another team meeting, a little impromptu team meeting. It happens on the regular, and I said, like, I'm not saying that, hey, this is the new roles for the team. I'm saying, hey guys, I'm seeing a new evolution. And like no one's planning it. No one's saying, hey, you need to do this, do this. But I'm seeing that with all of the life changes that happened, that this is kind of what's the team is now evolving into. And I'm seeing these new roles of what's happening. And it's a very high level. I'll just kind of briefly touch on them. I won't say who's who. I'll let you guys kind of leave a little mystery, but and this is like I said, it's not concrete. I just kind of like made it up because this is where I see our direction moving to. So instead of all those three pairs of six different roles, now I'm seeing head of relationships, head of acquisitions, head of due diligence and point of contact for the team, and I'm seeing head of property and asset management. Boom. Those are the new four roles that I see our team kind of melding into, merging into. So we'll see if that sticks. We'll see if that changes again because it might. I mean, if you're not evolving, you're not growing. So that's just the next stage in the process for us. I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing, and I'm excited for us to get to the point where we can truly start bringing more people into the fold. Like we've already, I think for those of y'all that have been around for a while, you've already seen that we've kind of brought some people into the mix where we're working much more closely with this group of people. And that's what we were hinting at a little bit earlier, but they are crushing it. Like I have so much work to follow up with on them, and I love it. I love it. I'm excited for it. It makes me happy for sure.
Yeah. Cool evolution, man. I
It
like
is,
that.
bro.
I
It
like
really
that
is.
perspective. When you brought it up yesterday, I was like, "Damn, he's right." I didn't think about it that way. But it's funny how some of those positions or roles or whatever are just it's just naturally happening, you know? There was no,
Hmm.
like, meeting that we sat down and be like, "Hey, you're doing this." It just started happening.
Hmm.
And so Joseph's observation, he was reflecting and he was like, "Man, here's what I see." And he told me and I was like, "You're absolutely right, bro. You're absolutely right." So it's cool. It's exciting to see that. It really is. I started like Joseph was saying, he was like, maybe we should have titles like senior vice president. And I was like, okay, sure. It sounds pretty fancy.
What did you tell me, Oscar? You said I want to
Mhm.
be general colonel or something.
If I had my title, like say Joseph had senior vice president or something, put my title as Sergeant Major General Sir.
Nah, bro. You can be Colonel Sanders. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, guys, we like to kind of goof around a little bit, but we still get the job done. I mean, that's what's important. But at the same time, if you're not having fun when you're doing this, then what's the point of doing it at all, right?
Hmm.
So have some fun in your life.
Lots of fun.
Look, Max said, sounds fancy. I like it. Yeah, it does sound fancy. It does. That's
This
funny.
is the new MDU saying that Joseph is starting a coin now. Look at the
I'm just
banner at the
happy to
bottom.
be here. Let's go. Hey, but you know what? You don't give me all the credit, man. I didn't coin it. I just started using it. I just reused it. You were the one that first said it. And it was funny because you always told me that. And it would crack me up. So now when people ask me, hey, you got anything? And I have nothing, I don't have anything extra to add. I'm just happy to be here. That's it.
It was hilarious because we were having a meeting with our partners and everyone gave a quick intro about themselves and everybody ended it with I'm just happy to be here. And for whatever reason, everybody said it. I don't know why. I
There
just
was 8
started.
people on this call, guys. Eight separate people gave their intro and ended it with "I'm just happy to be here." Even the two new additions that these are going to be they're co KPs. They are partners. They're going to be the KP on our deal. So we've met one of them. Now we're meeting his partner, and all of them, everybody said it. It was so funny. It was so funny. But
Look at this.
something as small as that made an impression on them to want to say that too.
Yeah.
So they'll remember that conversation. Colonel
Director of
Sanders,
chicken.
director of fried chicken and pizza. Let's go.
Well, fried chicken sounds good right now. I'm not gonna lie.
You've been craving it. You've been
I've been
craving
craving
it.
it for a long time, bro.
Bro, I'm about to just Uber Eats you a fried chicken. Just one. Not even a bucket, just one.
Man, you're gonna ruin my diet, bro.
All right, I'll just send you a picture of a fried chicken.
Okay. I'm on that MDU diet right now. 1,000 units before I can reward myself with chicken, fried chicken.
Bro, I got you. Hang on. It's coming your way right now. I wasn't joking. You want some fried chicken, bro? I got you. I
Oh my gosh. See, this is
got
what he's talking about. We still kid around and have fun, and Joseph's just happy to be here, guys.
guys, I really am, man. I really am. Uh, I want to pull this up. Max said, on a side note, I really can't express how grateful I am for you guys. I truly can't. It really warms my heart to see those around me growing alongside with me. Bro, I love you, man. I love you. I just have to pull it up, bro. I really did.
We love you, Max.
We do, man. You're absolutely crushing it. I see you. You're hungry. I see it. I really do.
Hopefully not hungry for fried chicken like me, but you are hungry, bro. Definitely hungry to get that deal.
It was some good looking chicken, right?
That was a lot of good looking chicken, bro.
All right, there you go. Man of my word. I see Gleb. He said, "You guys invest in other deals as an LP." We haven't just yet, other than our own, but we are absolutely wanting to. It's part of the plan. Honestly, it's part of mine and KJ's end goal is to just be LPs in everybody else's deals. I want to do a bunch of here's some money, here's some money, here's some money. You want me to sign on your loan, be a key principal? Absolutely, let's do it. But I want this much equity. I'm gonna do the same thing everybody's doing to us. You know what I mean? So absolutely, the answer is yes. We we do want to do that. That is part of the plan.
Yep.
Max said hungry for both for sure.
I'm telling you, Max. Me too.
Let's see. Let me one last look at the calendar, see if I missed anything else. Um oh, I know that we're gonna be sending out we're gonna be looking to send out 2 LOIs today. One property, 2 LOIs. We sent out 2 LOIs on another property, Class A asset. And I talked with the broker and the person that brought me the deal yesterday. Kind of gave me the gist of what I knew he was going to say. He basically said, "Hey, your offers are they're good. I appreciate you sending them, but we're really looking to be more around the X amount mark, which is what they're asking for."
Mhm.
And I said, "Hey, no problem. I totally understand. I'd be happy to explain our underwriting and why our offers are what they are. I'd be happy, more than happy to sit down with you and the seller and kind of go over that with you, just so you have more insight into what we're thinking. But I totally understand and respect your decision. I as this If I as a seller as well, I'd absolutely want to make as much as possible. But me being on the buying side, I have to make sure that this is a business and logical decision moving forward, not an emotional one. So I love the property, but the numbers are what the numbers are. So
Mhm.
let me know if anything changes. And that's kind of how we left it. We'll see what happens.
Dang, that was some gold nuggets right there, bro. That was like Joseph really on the phone. It's almost verbatim of what he says.
Mhm.
And it comes out really good, and they're like, "Yeah, I understand where you're coming from." Man, I wish I would've wrote that down, bro. That was good.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's recorded.
Yeah. And you know what, guys? It was real life. This is what happened, how the call came through. I called. I was on the phone with Jose. Shout out Jose, another VIP. His birthday was yesterday, actually, guys. So
Happy birthday.
10 happy birthdays to Jose. And then immediately after that, I called my brother. My brother's birthday was also yesterday. Shout out
Happy birthday,
Nathaniel
bro.
Wood. I was on the phone with him, and we were talking. I haven't talked to him in a little while. And then in that call, the person that brought me the deal called me, and I said, "Hey, I'm call you right back. I'm on the phone with my brother, right?" And then he messaged me. He said, "Bro, I'm on the phone with the broker." And I said, "Damn, I really need to take that call." I said, "Okay, give me a second." And he calls me again, like right away. And I'm like, "Damn, like, all right, let me talk with my brother real quick, let him know what's going on, that I'm not just like ditching him." And I kept going for a little long, and they called me again. I was like, "All right, hey man, I really got to go. This is like an important call. This could be like $1 million call I'm about to take here." So I hang up with my brother, immediately hop on a call with him, and then that call lasted like maybe 10 minutes or so. But that 10 minutes was very important because we made the introduction as a credible buyer to this broker. And so that way he's got a voice and a person in his mind, even though we haven't seen each other face to face, of who we are. And we made it more of a personable connection rather than just somebody on the other end of an email sent an offer. Now we've had a conversation, so he knows me a little bit better. So it was a very important call, and I followed. I'm gonna see my brother this weekend, so I don't feel as bad. But that's how it went down. And throughout all of this, I'm holding the baby and feeding the baby, and then KJ comes home with some food, and I don't even get to eat the food until like 20, 30 minutes in because I'm still on all these phone calls. So I mean, that's just like the real life. That's what happens. Like you kind of just have to work with what you got as far as whatever situation it is that you're in. So thought that little insight into a little snippet of my life in that moment would bring some kind of value. I
And
hope.
what time was this phone call?
That was between like 7:30 and 8:30 ish, something like that. Because I think right after that, I ate and you were eating, and we hopped onto the call to the Zoom to work late last night. I think that was like 9:30 when we hopped on, something
You mean
like
you
that.
had a call with the broker and them at nighttime, evening?
Nighttime.
Dang, look at this
I
guy.
That same person that brought me the deal. All the conversations I've had with him have been like after 8 p.m.
That's crazy. Look at you, man, working overtime.
Yeah, this is not the 9 to 5. This is like 9 to 9, and I don't mean 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I mean 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's just how it works.
The 24-hour grind.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's crazy.
I think going back through the calendar, I think that's really all that, Oh, I mean, we did meet with the accountant. If you want to talk a little bit about that on one deal, that was a good call. That was a really good call. Learned a lot on that one. Mostly just meetings with different members of the community, different potential partners, different current partners, different deals that we're working on. It's
Mhm.
just lots of meetings every day.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mentioned at the beginning, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but
Mhm.
the event that you went to. So those are the last two things that I could see maybe potentially have some value to bring up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I went to a meetup earlier this week, actually midweek, and it was all about kind of like a market analysis type of meeting, but it was all based on the broker perspective because there was a bunch of brokers there. There was 4 brokers on the panel, and it was a Q&A type of panel and a bunch of investors in the room, but they were getting I was getting a different perspective than what I'm really used to. I'm always used to getting a perspective of operators or GPs from the investment side, but this one was it was kind of like a hybrid. It was like brokers and like 2 or 3 operators that were on stage as well. And one question that I thought was very interesting, and because we're seeing this now, right, was one of the guys in the audience asked one of the panelists or all the panelists, what are they doing as far as underwriting for insurance? And that was like crazy to hear because these guys were saying we're underwriting some of our deals anywhere from 500 to about $800 per unit on the insurance. And then the next guy after that said, I'm underwriting about 800 to $1,000 per unit on the insurance. Goes to show like how much because before I think we were underwriting, not we, but that they were saying they were underwriting at like 250 a unit before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so to see that drastic increase and most of it nationwide, and that's not including the markets that really are like, some of those coastal ones like New Orleans or Florida, those types of markets where the insurance is going to be higher than that. So to see the difference in insurance and underwriting really blew my mind because I was like, dang, that's a drastic increase in insurance. So when you're underwriting some of your deals, I would say if you don't know anybody who's in the insurance field, you probably should get to start knowing them and talk to them because you want to know what exactly it is that they're underwriting at the moment so you can take those numbers because insurance it can be something that makes or breaks the deal. It
Mm-hmm.
really can because maybe they have an insurance policy that that you're underwriting at the moment that's their actual, but when you go and do your pro forma and you go get your quotes, you'll notice that that number can drastically change and that can kill the deal. Also, the property taxes were another one that they touched on. They were like, just make sure you know your property taxes as well, because that can also make or break the deal. But that insurance piece was like fire because I was like, dang, good thing we're underwriting conservatively, but they just opened up our eyes that like, those changes are drastic. They weren't just like last year or 2 years ago. They just jumped out of nowhere. So, and then we had a speaking of that, we had a huge storm last night in Dallas, and some people are still out, like no electricity because of that storm.
Yeah.
So, like, insurance is freaking important. It is. Make sure you're underwriting it. Don't ever try to do. I don't even if you tried with a lender, they won't let you without insurance. But if you're doing a seller finance, you definitely have to prepare to have some sort of insurance in there. Go and get your quotes and know for sure what you're looking at.
Man, and he's right, guys. We were doing anywhere from like 250 to $400 a unit on average, right? So to see that, that's more than double of an increase. And that's crazy.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was interesting to hear from again, this was from a more of a broker perspective, and it was just very interesting to hear. Um, and one more thing that I took, I could probably talk about 4 more items, but one more thing that I took that was very mind blowing. Like I can't believe I haven't thought about this yet. And I don't know if I told you this, Joseph, but the guys that were sitting, like 2 of them were like major brokers, and like the other 2 were like brokers and investors. I think they were more operators than they were brokers, but the 2 brokers that were there, they're in charge of the sourcing, all of the deal sourcing, and they would bring it to that group. That group then has a head of acquisition, then they have head of asset management and construction, and obviously they have the head of relations, and then once they exit those properties, they go and the same brokers that they bought it from, they have those same brokers sell that same asset. And whether it's a 5-year hold or 3-year hold or 10-year hold, whatever, they just rinse and repeat. So these brokers have like these continuously deals. going on with each other, and it's like a group that they work with each other. It's kind of interesting to hear, but also like at the same time, I'm like, man, that's so smart. Like these guys think about the long term with these relationships with these guys. Like they're not just going to be there buying it once; they're also going to be at the exit when they sell. So that way they can keep bringing business to these people and they develop long-term relationships. And these were guys that were head of brokerages that are freaking well known, like well known. Like you guys would know some of these names if I dropped them, but I'm going to save it for a Zoom so you guys know what I'm talking about. But a lot of you guys have been bringing us deals from these specific brokerages, and they're one of the top ones. And if you start looking at the top ones, you know what I'm talking about. So the relationships that they have, these guys would get first dibs because that's how much like how good of a relationship they have with them. So when you're starting to talk to your brokers and you're starting to get deals from them, think about the long term. Think about that when you exit your property. Who's going to be the one selling that property? It could be that same broker that you bought that deal from, or it could be another broker that you know, and you develop these relationships and you keep them long term so that they just keep giving you more deals. It was a cool thing to hear, Joseph. It was a cycle that sounds so simple and you would think it's common sense, but to see that actually in front of my eyes, I was like, wow, that opened up my eyes. And I'm like, man, we should definitely think about the long run more than we should the short term for sure. So yeah, I thought that was something that was interesting.
Man, nuggets all day. It's freaking raining nuggets out here. I should have brought an umbrella. Dude, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, it
It
was
just
good.
goes to show you that you never know what you're going to learn at these meetups. I mean, I wouldn't have expected to, find that information out, but it's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, it was a good one. I was telling Ione as soon as I was learning all that stuff, I was texting her. I was like, "Hey, insurance," and then I was like, "Hey, look, this is what they do. This is their business model." And so I was just taking notes like a madman. But I was so happy I went because it was pretty far a far drive for me from where I live to go to that meetup. So almost an hour away. So when I got there, I was like, "Oh, I'm late." But I got in and I started listening. I was like, "Oh, super worth it. Super worth it." So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I see we got Mark Prestwood in the chat. Los Angeles, California, tuning in live. Glad to have you, bro. Dude, I think you just dropped some mad gems. Like, I don't even want to follow up after that. I don't have any more gems left to drop. Not right now, not off the top of my head.
I got some gems to drop for the VIPs later too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. Um, man, I know there was one thing I did want to bring up, but I can't remember what it is. I was just too zoned in on what you were saying. That was cool though.
Hmm.
Maybe it'll come back to me.
You're good, bro. I just want to mention one last time. If you guys aren't signed up for the free Friday Zooms, the link is at the bottom, scrolling down. It's zoom.milliondollarupside.com. Sign up for it if you haven't already. It's free. It's every Friday, 12 p.m. Central. A lot of you guys are probably already on there. I can see some of the, return usual VIPs and the crowd that's in the chat. But if you guys aren't there, we're going to talk about market analysis 101. And it's something that I've been wanting to teach for a long time. Joseph knows that we run these metrics on the background whenever we look at deals, but it's something that I've always wanted to teach to the community because I want to give this back because I think it's super important. And
Super important.
yeah, and if you guys aren't implementing this in your underwriting, or I'm sorry, in your market analysis when you're looking at these deals, you should be, because this is going to determine whether or not you should be in this market or you should not. And we've had a rude awakening on this because we thought we had great deals in some of these markets, but then come to find out, we ran the metrics and maybe one of the five hit. And we were like, yeah, okay. It's upsetting, but had we had known this before, we wouldn't have wasted that much time
Hmm.
into that specific market. So you guys need to be there because it's going to be awesome. Promise you.
It's funny you say that because we would have we would have saved a lot of time on a lot of different deals.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if we would have flopped it, because we always did the underwriting first and then we did the market analysis,
Yeah.
which that's totally backwards. You should figure out if you even want to be in that market in the first place.
Right.
So Yeah, you guys are gonna get a lot of value off of this one.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a good one.
Yep.
It'll be a good one. So don't miss out. It's free.
Yep.
Just register. Oh, I remembered what it was I was gonna say. Both Oscar and I will be on a guest speakers on a podcast on Monday. I believe it's a newer podcast. You guys probably know the host. Her name is Maritza. She will be hosting her podcast, and Oscar and I will both be on there on Monday. Mine is, I think it's at 10 a.m. Central. And Oscar, I see yours at 2 p.m. Central. Does
Yep.
that sound right?
Yep.
I think those are right. So check it out, guys. I think it'll be cool. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about just yet, but kind of just do what I always do and just make it happen.
I got you, bro. There you go.
Just happy to be here. Let's go. Yeah, I am, man. I truly am. If you
Mhm.
can't tell, grinning from cheek to cheek, I'm cheesing. Yeah, man. That's it. That's it. I don't have anything else, bro. Unless
I
you
don't
have
either.
any last minute nuggets.
Nope. Other than what I've already said, if you guys, again, just reiterate the Zoom, it will be in about an hour and some change. Be on that Zoom because it's going to be amazing. Fire Zoom for sure. Oh, and if you're not part of the Facebook group, that's where we post a lot of our updates and a lot of the things that we do, scheduling and reminders. If you're not part of that group, go ahead and join the group. It's Multifamily, the Million Dollar Upside on Facebook. And again, that's where we keep everybody up to date on everything that we do, including reminders for these Zooms so you guys don't miss out. Other than that, that's all I got.
Yeah, and we've been working. I know we've mentioned a couple times, but we've been working on things, and all of those will be released slash announced into that Facebook group there. So that's where you would get those updates on those new things that we're working on. So just be on the lookout. It's coming soon. I'm excited to release them. It'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
We're making everything more professionalized. It looks cleaner, it looks better. That's what we're trying to do. We're
Yep.
trying to stand out, be unique, change the game. That's it. All right, brother. That's all I got. Oh, C. Perkins.
C. Perkins in the
He's in the
house.
chat. Let's go. Our newest VIP. Let's go. Mark Presswood, great
Thanks,
live
brother.
and value, priceless.
Appreciate
The
that,
Go
Mark.
Givers, bro. Love it, man. Words of affirmation is not my love language. It's definitely KJ's. Might be Oscar's. I'm not quite sure. He likes to talk a lot too sometimes, but it's always nice. It's nice. And people like hearing good things. We definitely appreciate hearing good things. We want to hear your wins. We want to hear y'all's successes. We want to hear all the good stuff happening in y'all's lives too. So definitely let us know. I'm not quite sure what these hieroglyphics mean over here, but it looks like some kind of like avatar thing going on. I see sub 2, elephant,
Elephant, gator,
gator,
whale.
whale, dolphin, camel, lots of camels. So I'm just gonna say that says "Way to go, $1 million upside team." That's what I'm gonna read that as. So on that note, I'm gonna hit this dope intro or outro, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.